Good morning, everybody. This is Becky here at Aunt Beck's Creations, and I'm on just a few minutes early, and I'm actually going to be sewing across the room. And I don't have the setup to move you guys around, so I hope it's okay. You're going to see my back for a little bit. I've got to sew around the waistline of the dresses, and then I have to go over to the serger, and I stand at my serger and stitch that, and then we'll come back to this side of the room and I'll just try to chat with you while I put in hems, because that's all I have left to the 4 dresses I've been working on is the waistband area and the hems. So that's what you're going to see. So here we go. I have to take this chair with me. Start all the machines, get all the lights on. There we go. Turn the light off in here. I don't need that one. All right, so I'm going to be at the sewing machine right here. And good morning to Melanie. Hi, Melanie. Let me get my phone so I can have the chat over with me. Let's get you guys up on the phone, and I'll set you on this table here, and I'll get the handy dandy dollar store thing to hold you guys, because the thing on my holder doesn't work anymore. Let's turn the volume off. And there I am. Nope, that's not it. I don't do this often enough, I guess. Skip the ad. There we go. And there I am standing. So, and now I can see the chat. So give me a couple minutes to do this on this side of the room. I actually have the 4 dresses pinned and ready to go there, but I got to get the next dresses out of my way, which is this pile I have cut out. I don't know how many I've got cut out. I forget. All right. The urge is to go real fast, but that's when you make mistakes. I might do one at a time, just so I can not be across the room for quite so long. Hi, Ann. Hi, Vicki. This is why I don't sew a lot live. I just don't have the setup so you guys can see everything I'm doing and all of that. And I don't want to mess up and have to take some out. The skirts fit exactly to the waistband, but they're full, so you're constantly having to adjust how they lay. All right, we're almost around on this one. Just take these pins out. And I'm just going to peek and make sure I haven't bent anything. I don't need the pin in the middle anymore. I just want to make sure nothing got folded. Everything looks good. I'll have to clip these threads that are hanging out here and there. But now I have to turn it back the same way. All right. I'll do one dress at a time, and then that way I'm not so far away. We'll uncover the serger. I think I need to switch the blades out on this, and I've never done that before, so that ought to be fun sometime. All right, so now we definitely want to make sure everything's way down in there, because you can't undo this too well once it's cut something away. Don't you break a needle again. Come back over to you guys. I'm just going to leave my phone there. Now the truth is, did I catch anything and cut something off I shouldn't have? I'm going to tie this in a knot right here. That's the serger thread. I just tie a knot on it and push it down next to here, just so those threads don't start coming undone. All right, give it a peek and see if I messed up anywhere there. No, but I got some threads that need to be snipped off. All right, so now let's see the magic happen. I'll flip it right side out. Make sure I haven't put a hole anywhere. So there you go. There's a little cat dress. And got my label on it. It's backwards from what I'm seeing. It feels backwards. So now it just needs a hem. So I'm going to shift you guys over this way to the ironing board, and I'm going to put a hem in it. And I probably should like measure and, you know, all that stuff. I do this I've done little narrow double quarter inch hems so long that the measuring bit, no, I don't do that. After I've done 30 or 40 little dresses, it's just, yeah. I just fold up about 1/4 of an inch, and my iron is my friend. On the cord on the back side. You just got to be careful you don't get yourself with the steam, because I am using steam to set this hem in. That steam is hot. It's definitely feeling like autumn, even though I know we're not done with the hot weather. We're supposed to get rain all week, every single day. The dehumidifier under the house ran a lot last night. It's pretty loud once it gets going. But I know it's a necessity because I don't want to have to go through that expense of the floors again. Trying to catch the tail of the serger thread here at the side seams. You just gotta be careful not to stretch this skirt because it's on the bias. It'd be real easy to stretch it round. Now I'll get my pins and I'll go around again, but I'm just gonna fold this up the width of what I ironed and put pins in it. Oh, guys, don't start fighting. Everybody can be on the porch. It's okay. The catio doesn't belong to just one of you. Life's too short to be that ugly to each other. Come on now. Especially for cats. But this is what my morning's going to entail, is finishing these 3 dresses up. 4 dresses. I got 3 more to do what I just did to this one. And today's also go around the house and get all the small trash cans and any trash I come across together and out into the trash, because tomorrow's trash day, and I like to have the house completely purged of any garbage on Mondays, so it's ready to go. Because they tell us don't have your trash at the street until 8 a.m. Well, if I waited until 8 a.m. to put it out, I would miss it every single time. Because they go that blooming early. Sometimes they're going by right at 8 o'clock. So if I waited till 8 a.m., it wouldn't happen. They don't want us to put it out the night before, but I don't care, because sometimes I like to sleep in on a Tuesday. Especially if Scott's like off on vacation or something. We just put it out. I'll show you guys what this looks like pinned. And then I have to go over to the sewing machine. And once I get this one done, I'll hang it up with the other ones that are behind me here. And then I think I'm going to show you how far I've gotten on my little cross stitch project, because I like to work on it for a little bit each morning. And it's slow going because I got sidetracked last week. I'm sure Lynn is a lot farther in her stitch along than I am, because I do a lot more than just cross stitch. And I can only do that for so long before I feel like my eyes are going crossed, because 28 count Aida is really, really tight. And I was watching Pastry Queen the other day, and they were trying to get her grandma out of the hospital. She's down in Puerto Rico. I've been to Puerto Rico once. a long time ago. He almost got a fashion show of a young man in boxer shorts. Getting there. Just got about 1.5 feet here. I don't think I'd have enough pins left in this pin cushion to do them all 4 at once. But that's my preference, to do the same process for all of them as I go, instead of stop and start. But that's okay. We'll stop and start this morning, especially since my back is acting up. I think it's because I used the vacuum that one of the sections on the vacuum broke, so the handle's really short, so I look like a troll vacuuming the floor all hunched over. And then Greg said I reminded him of the Aliens. What was that movie? I can't remember the movie now. She had the vacuum hooked up to her mouth, though. That was ugh. Somebody will remember it. Alrighty. And as I'm stitching this, I'll just pull on it just real lightly, not a lot, just to make sure that bias lays flat. So I folded it up, and then I folded it up again, and now it's got the pins in it. So now I need to go over to the sewing machine and go around that, and then I'll be back over here. And this dress will be done. Oh, y'all have disappeared on the phone. Tell me, time for a break. And of course the chats disappeared. Oh well, it was an idea. I like to start my hems at a side seam instead of the front versus back. Come on. Why are you not feeding through? Come on. There we go. These skirts are a lot fuller than you think. It takes a minute to get all the way around. Probably closer to 5 minutes. Train going through. Sweetie, what you doing? I wasn't able to see the chat over here, so sorry if I missed something. Goodness. Hello, Lala. Oh. Okay, let's see here. I want to get the threads off. Let me See if I can find them. There we go. I have a jar for all this loose thread somewhere. Okay, I think there was one at the waist, so we'll pop it back right side out. There you go. There's a little dress finished. And it's the one with the cats. And this, the skirt fabric of the cats, I have enough of it to make myself a blouse or a button-up shirt. So there's that. And the back looks like this. And I'm just going to do the whole stitch in the size 5 in the back later. So I need a hanger. We'll hang it up. I have this little hanger. The little ones for a size 5, they don't really work too good. They fall off. So there you go. Here's that. So we'll put that on the side that doesn't have any on yet. That'll be the first one finished for this round. There's that thread I was talking about. Let me get my snips. I knew there was one at the waistline poking out. Another reason to hang them so I can see all the little threads and such. All right. So I'm going to turn my iron off for now so I'm not heating the house up with it. Because when I'm using the steam iron, it's really hot. And Made by Pam is right. That little iron, I got it at Walmart. And it gets way hot. And if you accidentally leave it laying on something, you're going to burn it. So let me turn my phone off so I'm not using up battery. Here we go. So let's see. They've already picked up your trash. Wow. Now, if you didn't put yours out, you'd be in a pickle at this point. So let's see how far I've gotten. I took it out of the frame because it's not good to leave it in there when you're not working on it because it bends the fabric over. So I put it back in its container. And I guess I should show you the design. Let's see. I'm currently working on this corner that's in color, that's bright. That's the corner I'm working on. And this is what I have finished so far. I finally finished this bloomin' flower. And sewing white onto this cream Aida. Wow. You talk about hard to see. I can't wait to get into the more colorful things where I can see the thread against the background. And so I'm now working on the first little flower that you see at the top of the branch. Right there. So I got the pink edging done on that. And counting this, because your stitches go over 2 threads up and down, 2 threads side to side. So I'm looking forward to putting that branch in. The branch is nice and dark, and it'll give me a really good reference point. I probably should have started with the branch, but that's okay. I started with this flower. I had thought I'd just work across. So like do this flower, that flower, the butterfly, this little flower, and then come back and work on this. Maybe start working it backwards this way. And I'm definitely following the how you're supposed to do cross stitch. You can't just go any old which way, because um, you go, I don't know if it's bottom left or right, but they got guidelines in here. Cross stitch basics. And they show you it's numbered here. So you start at, it's hard to do this. So it's like the 1 to 2s, you do those, and then you do 3 to 4s to make your X's. And you can see that in that little diagram. See how they're saying do the 1 to 2 and then 3 to 4 comes back. You have to do that everywhere. If you try to go a different direction or whatever, you'll end up with the thread will be different. The light will hit the thread differently, and the finish won't be as nice. So that's why they tell you to do like this. This is the basic cross stitch. So that's what I've been doing. 2 threads. I don't know if you can even see. 2 threads by 2 threads. Wow. I don't know what I was thinking, except that's what this called for. And then Lynn said, I think she said she's just going over 1 thread. So hers will probably turn out smaller than mine. But I'm going to keep going. I should have took that stupid paper out of there. So there's that project. I am working on it, just not every day. So I'm going to work on that. I need to work on the dresses. And it's going to rain all week, so I should be able to turn out a bunch of dresses this week. So it's nice to have one done. So let me see. Oh, hi, Safia. Dora and Ducky has something up. She's been making unicorns. Let's scroll down here. You guys are over here. That's why I'm looking over here. Yeah, I was watching some of the UK sewing gals, and they were talking about they were bracing for the storm and that it was going to have some high winds. So, oh wow, they've canceled the trains and everything. Yeah, Safia's been taking her little boys to a thing at the museum where they build Legos, and it's part of a display for the day. Sounds like fun. I have my mammogram this week at a location I've never been to, but I did see that they do the 3D mammogram, not the crush in a vice one, which is good. Let's see. Hi, Teresa. I think I've caught up with everybody that's come in. Oh, that sounds like fun, Vicki. We have kind of an arts guild here in Casey that meets at the big tennis thing out by the interstate here. We have like a tennis, what do they call it? It's courts, tennis courts, but they called it something else. And they meet out there, and they'll have like a guest artist speaker, and it's free to the public to attend those talks. So one Thursday night, I might go do that. I think it's a Thursday night. Scott's teaching, so why not? Actually, I think this is his last week. I think they take their final on Thursday. I'll have to look them up and see when they meet again. I am stitching over 2 threads by 2 threads. So it's basically the 2 threads form a square. So yeah, I'm doing the 2 by 2 square squares on there. Safi has been working on our mini journals again. Tennis complex. Yeah, that could be it, or tennis club. That's true. The rain and wind have started there. Well, hopefully you guys won't lose any trees or anything. Something is itching the daylight out of me. That's so weird. That's why I can't do labels in clothes. As soon as I get something, I cut the label out. And then I see all these other girls that sew on YouTube here, and they're all putting these cutesy labels in, and I'm like, oh, no, I can't do labels. I'm sorry, folks that love labels. They gotta go. Can't stand that edging that's on labels. It's scratchy. It just drives me crazy. I might have to put something else on. This dress is, I'm gonna have to look at it. No, I don't want to show the desktop. I don't really have anything else to share. I have been doing some of the neurographic art and sharing it on Instagram. So I did this one that was kind of after what Andrea, and I can't remember Andrea's last name, but she does like a little watercolor thing all the time. So this was done with a Sharpie marker and then those Arteza or whatever watercolors I got off from Amazon. And then I did this one. And I did this different than she did this one, but I like how he turned out. And then yesterday I decided to pull out the stencil and use it at least 3 times on here and then do the neurographic through it. And then I added some glitter. So I made this to make a birthday card. You can see the glittery bits on there. That's some glitter glue. I'm trying to use all that glitter glue up because it's starting to dry in the packaging. So, and I don't know if there's a way to thin that back down. So I've just been chucking them. I'm just trying to use stuff up and not replace it. You know, especially things that, like I don't touch often. Glitter. I have a drawer over there labeled glitter. I need to use that stuff up. So this was done with those watercolors, but then I came back in with some of the Sharpie creative marker on the balloons. I don't think I did it on the, I don't think I added any marker to anything but the balloons. The background, the reds and orange and yellow, those are all just my watercolors. But then I was like, oh, now it looks, because the markers kind of flattened everything out. So that's when I went and dug out the glitter. So I did that. But what Andrea did in a video, she just drew a real simple butterfly and then drew through it and did the neurographic stuff and then did the coloring. When you do that, I would always suggest color in the part, like on here I did the balloons, color those in first, because if you try to do your background first, you make mistakes. I think I did it on this one, on the turtle. Something I did where I was messing up. I don't know which one it was, but they're fun to do. I enjoyed doing these. And I like leaving a little white border. I'm going to start doing that on everything I do because I just like how that looks with the white border where you tape off your edge. And if you tape to a craft mat like this, Peg sent me this. If you tape to one of these, then you can move your your sheet around. If you tape it to your table, you're kind of stuck. Have I done anything on my stitchy thing, my fabric flower collage? We'll pull that out and look at it real quick. Hi, Janet. So I've got this to work on. I've got the dresses to work on. I've got my cross stitch to work on. It's going to rain all week. There you go. I'm just going to hold this up. I've got my thread pinned in it. So what I've been doing is stitching everybody's name. See, Janet Nash is on there twice because I made a flower with the fabric she sent. And I got Joyce's name on there and mine. And I got Kathy W. So now I need to put, and I'm going to put Ginger Pam so I know which Pam sent this flower. And then I got to do Beth's name and another Joyce for this big flower here. I need to put another Joyce right here. And Beth's I'll put down on the stem that goes to her flower. And I also, on Beth's, I want to add some things to make her flower pop some more. So it's coming together. And I just freehand stitched the names. So they almost look like, from a distance, they almost look like there's a little bug. Oh, and I want to add some more leaves like I did right there. And, oh, that reminds me, Marion at Marion's World, she worked on her coat over the weekend, or a video came up about her coat over the weekend. And she did some violet leaves that were really cute. So that's how that project's going. And I am enjoying having this available to hold a project. Pick this container up at one of the thrift stores for like $2. And then last night we went to the Dollar Tree. And of course, you know, they got all the back to school stuff. I got to run get it because I've already put them up. Hang on. They have these cases, and I thought for $1.25, they're pretty neat. There's a narrow little place here, so it's got lots of room, and I'm thinking the floss cards would fit in here. So maybe I could put pearl cottons, and then the ones that aren't quite as deep, I could add a variety of beads and sequins just to have them. And that could go like in a stitching bag for a project. Well, I don't know. If you put beads in it, I think I'd want to put like a tie or something, because the latch, it holds, but I think so I wouldn't have a gazillion beads everywhere, that I'd want to secure it in some way. And it's $1.25. So, and they stack because the center of this is rounded up. It fits in the bottom of that where the narrow parts are, the narrower bins. Of course, you could use those to hold cards of needles or things like that as well. But I thought if somebody was looking for something to organize a project, these are cheap and worthwhile. All right. Yeah, I'm not going to have to water. I had planned to go out and mow, but everything's so wet. The dog's just going to have to manage until the rain stops. It's going to be so hard to mow the next time, but I refuse to mow really wet grass because it sticks in the mower, and you can ruin a mowing blade with wet grass. Plus, it's kind of dangerous for yourself. So we finished the dress back there, hanging on the front there. It turned out cute. I've got 3 more to go. and then I'll have to wind another bobbin. So the next color on the pile of dresses is navy, and I think I have five dresses for that. So I'll probably start by winding 3 bobbins, because I did 2 for 4 dresses and I'm getting really close to running out. So I know I'll need a third bobbin, and I would rather go ahead and wind all the bobbins that I think I'm going to need for that stack of dresses, because then I don't have to unthread the machine or put a second spool on and try to work across threads to, to wind another bobbin. It's easier just to wind them ahead of time, because then all you got to do is open it, pop the new bobbin in, and go. So, yeah. All right. Have fun at lunch, and I'm going to let you guys go. Don't know if Pastry Queen is on this morning. She comes on, I think, most mornings if she's able to. And like I said, she's in Puerto Rico helping with care of her grandma. And so we'll see if she's on. Of course, Dee Dee will be on, and then Janet Nash at 9. And then I don't remember who comes on when. I think we have, does P&M come on Mondays? All right. I'll see you guys later. Have a great day. Bye.